Hello Taurus, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone, so do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Taurus, let's jump on in. We're going to start with pulling oracle cards for your overall energy, for your past, present, and future energies, and then we'll dive into tarot a little bit later on in the reading. So let's start, Taurus, with your recent past and what you guys have been dealing with as of recently. Pause. Okay. I feel like this is kind of this energy of like being in a limbo period of your life, almost feeling a little bit stuck, but the timing of this was very intentional. You have let love you be your beacon, with maintain your childlike spirit. I feel like this is also kind of this energy of losing a lot of excitement, maybe for life or for a path, or for maybe even like it could be like spiritual, your spirituality, or something that you felt very called to do at one point, but then kind of got away from it. And I feel like this, but I do feel like this was intentional. This let love be your beacon card, I feel like, was a return to yourself in a way. And I feel like things are starting, and I already kind of feel this in your current energy, even though we haven't pulled cards. I kind of feel like things are starting to pick up again in some form of, in some way or another, like in some form. But I do feel like this is kind of this energy of feeling really stuck, maybe feeling a little bit lost, especially with this let love be your beacon card. It's like there is a path available for you, but it almost feels like stepping into your power is necessary to be able to see that path. And I feel like this past energy was about kind of getting into your power a little bit more in some way, shape, or form. But let's see where you guys are at now. Because like I said, I already kind of feel some momentum in your current energy, especially compared to your past energy. Your past energy felt very like stagnant and like stuffy. Like when I was pulling cards, it was like harder to breathe. And like in your current energy, it feels a little bit more like lighter air, clearer almost. Current energy for Taurus. Now, a lot of times in our journey when we're feeling really stuck, there are always divinely guided reasons as to why that's the case, but it can feel really frustrating when you're in it and not really like aware of those energies. Current energy for Taurus. Heighten your vitality. So this is all about raising your vibration in a sense, and I feel like your vibration is rising, especially compared to this past energy, and then you have amplify your positive emotions. Right now is definitely a time to be trying your hardest to shift your focus from lack to abundance, from negative to positive. Now, I think a lot of times when I talk about that, it can get lost in translation, and this idea that I just need to be positive all the time starts to come through. And that's not what I'm saying. You know, it's natural to feel frustrated. It's natural to feel stuck. Like all of those things are, there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. But the more that we focus on what we lack and how far we have to go and all of the things that are wrong with our current circumstances, the more that we start to attract more of those situations into our life. I mean, it's the law of attraction, like at its most basic level. What you focus on is what you attract more of into your life. So I feel like you've been in this energy, like I said, of being very stuck, and maybe it kind of got you into a negative mentality for a little bit. Maybe there was this shift of, you know, focusing on all that was wrong and and all of the thing, how far you have to go, and maybe even giving up a little bit on your path. And that's okay. Those periods of your life are going to happen. But right now, like I said, is kind of this time of starting to like pick something back up, like starting to pick a path back up, or I don't know, like starting to move forward again after a period of feeling very stuck. And that forward momentum is going to first start from within. It's going to, need to start with that shift of your perspective and what it is that you're focusing on, and how much of it is positive versus negative, and all of the things that, like I said, kind of law of attraction at its most basic level, but also like sometimes we lose sight of how important it is to really make sure that we are focusing on the good in our life. It doesn't mean ignoring the bad, but definitely shifting our focus from all of the things that we, like I said, lack or that is going wrong, to the things that are going right, and maybe even giving yourself a little bit more credit for how far you've come. What does Taurus need to know moving forward? Open your heart, contemplation. So this to me feels like, because then there's be spontaneous with potential gateway. And I almost said this when I was shuffling, how I felt like I kept seeing a door. There's a door to some sort of opportunity in your life. But I feel like this opportunity or this door or whatever it is, it requires you to be incredibly open-minded and to open your heart quite a bit. Now, this contemplation card to me represents something that maybe it could be a door that you've like kind of been standing in front of, and you're like, I don't know whether or not to open it, or I don't know whether or not, what or how I'm supposed to take the first step, or where I'm supposed to go from here. And I feel like there's this, we want to both be very mindful of the decisions that we make without getting too stuck in overthinking. And I feel like, Taurus, you might run the risk of like overthinking some sort of path that almost gets you stuck and not even taking any steps at all. I've certainly been there, like having an idea pop into my mind and being like, oh, this is really exciting. But then I start overthinking how I'm going to do it, what it's going to look like. And so I get so stuck in that overthinking and so worried about making sure that it's perfect that I start not taking any steps at all. It's like, well, that fear of doing it wrong, or that fear of failure, making mistakes starts to creep open. So I feel like there's like some sort of opportunity here, something that maybe you've been on the fence about, or something that maybe you're even unaware of yet. But I feel like in this future contemplation energy, you'll definitely be aware of it here. But it requires you, like I said, to have a very open heart, open mind in order to approach it. And I feel like maybe that's kind of this energy of like you weren't like ready back here, but it's like but then you're ready here. And so all of this is happening to kind of open you up within, so that the opportunity starts to, it's like, so that you align with that opportunity, so that that opportunity starts to actually be attracted into your life in a way that is sustainable. So I feel like this is very good. This has probably been a very frustrating process, though, from what I can kind of tell here. Overall theme of this reading for Taurus, because a lot of times when we're finding our way, what it feels like is being completely in the dark, like being super lost and not knowing what the right path is, and not knowing what like the best decision for you is. And a lot of times what you don't realize is that not having a lot of the answers really does require you to surrender and to let go and to give it over to something bigger than you. And in those moments is when the good stuff really does start to happen. So overall theme of this reading for Taurus, please. Safe travel. There's a lot of different ways I could take this. Maybe this is about moving somewhere. Maybe it's about, because the safe travel doesn't necessarily need to actually have anything to do with your physical location. It could very much have to do with like redirection, like closing out something old and starting something new. Even if like you're in the same place, technically, like same city or whatever. You have this past life card too. So it kind of feels like there is a period of your life. Okay, I'm starting to understand now. It feels like you tried to start something. And in the beginning, you were very excited about it, but you were trying to also hold on to your past, like past self or past life, while trying to move forward into what was new. And this pause period required you to really let go of your past self, like old habits and behaviors and thoughts. And it felt a lot like being stuck, but what it really was an inner transitionary period. And as you started to transition within, you started to align more with the outside opportunity that you were ultimately looking for. So to you, you felt very stuck. To the universe, you were in the middle of a pretty incredibly transformative, pretty incredible and transformative period here. And I feel like with the safe travel card, this to me feels like movement. Like it kind of gives me Six of Swords energy. It's like forward movement, forward progress, but it requires you to leave behind the past. And I think that that's where it's like you've kind of been stuck in this period. And I started out this reading with saying like a limbo period, right? It's like you've been stuck in this period between like who you used to be and who you're becoming. And that transition in between of like, you know that who you used to be doesn't really align with you, but you're not really sure who you're becoming or what really aligns with that. That's a really hard place to be, because you kind of have to let go of this idea of who you are and who you're going to be and just kind of allow things to unfold. And I feel like that's where you're at right now. Like you're starting to step into this newer energy, because this energy, like from here to here, this feels new. This feels kind of like stagnant, right? Old stuffy energy. And I feel like that's been really clearing out. And so you're stepping into, you're moving forward to some of this newer energy here. But it's probably been a process. So let's get a little bit more clarity. Let's look, Taurus, at this recent past energy you have paused with. Let love be your beacon. What has Taurus been dealing with in their recent past? Whoa. The High Priestess in reverse. Whoa. Six of Swords, Nine of Cups, Four of Swords. It's funny because I literally said that's giving me Six of Swords energy. And then the Moon. This is a period of realignment for you. That's what this was about. This was about realignment. Because I do feel like this was also a period of maybe spending a lot of time in reflection, like even in solitude, or like sitting with thoughts, sitting with feelings, not really making any moves or decisions. And I feel like this was a very important period for you, because this Four of Swords is always an incredibly important aspect of any journey. Now this Nine of Cups energy, Nine of Cups can be wish fulfillment, but it also can represent expectation. And sometimes we have to let go of the expectation of how our wish fulfillment is going to come into fruition. And I feel like a lot of your expectations weren't met. And that's why maybe it was really something like a path was really exciting at first, because you had all of these expectations of how things were going to go. But since those expectations weren't met the way that you expected, it's almost like maybe you lost a lot of hope, or because then the moon creeps in, the fear, the doubt, the insecurity, the second guessing. And I feel like a lot of what this past energy was about working through all of that, working through all of that inner stuff. Now this High Priestess in reverse, sometimes when we're in those periods where we're feeling really stuck or we're feeling a little bit lost, our intuition, our higher self can be really hard to hear. Because the fear voice is always very loud. The ego voice can always be way louder than our higher self. And a lot of times it will speak to you in a way that makes it feel as if you are wrong for believing that things can get better. Or you are wrong for believing that your life can be what you want it to be. And a lot of times it can play on that self-doubt and play on that fear and get you to believe that the things that you fear and the things that the ways that you feel like you're not good enough or not capable or whatever the case is, it can get you to start to believe those things. So I feel like the reason that things weren't necessarily coming to fruition in the past energy wasn't because it wasn't possible or that it's not meant for you or that you can't have it. Because there was a lot of things, and maybe still are some things, that you were really needing to work through within. And a lot of things that it's like where you're going, wherever this opportunity, this door is trying to take you, it's like you can't bring this old way of thinking and believing with you. It's like that doubt can't go where you're going. That fear can't go where you're going. And I feel like that's why this period of your life really happened, was to get you to face a lot of those things within so that you could move forward from it. And I think that it was very, I just keep hearing the word frustrating. Very frustrating, because I feel like in your mind, you should have been further along than you were, or maybe you still feel that way. But in this current energy, like I said, I feel like you've done a lot of the inner work, and now that's going to start to pay off as you move forward here. So let's look at this current energy. Heighten your vitality with amplify your positive emotions. So this is all about raising your vibrations, kind of like getting yourself unstuck in a way, starting to take the baby steps forward, kind of shaking off some of that doubt, shaking off some of that fear, and allowing yourself to believe in yourself again, or like believe in your dreams again, or I don't know, something that might sound a little cheesy, but like getting excited almost about your life or your path again. Current energy for Taurus: amplify your positive emotions, heighten your vitality. I mean, there it is, 8 of Wands. I mean, I felt this forward movement. It's like things are starting to pick back up. I don't necessarily know what that means, but it's toward a direction that you definitely want to go. Current energy for Taurus. There's the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is all about divine guidance. It's you needing to know that this has all been a process. Things are unfolding exactly like they're supposed to, including this period of feeling very stuck. But I do feel like the other thing is you need to know that it is completely up to you whether or not you choose to move forward again. I feel like this period that you've gone through, a lot of people would throw in the towel. A lot of people would give up. A lot of people would be like, this isn't worth it. But I feel like the more that you choose to heighten your vitality, to focus on the positive, to keep moving forward in faith, like the more likely things are going to work out for you. I mean, yeah, you have the 6 of Wands with the Magician underneath that. This is like the divine timing is very heavily at play in your world. Now, when we talk about divine timing, it doesn't necessarily mean like a specific like time, like date and time. That's not really what it means. Divine timing is all about aligning with the time in your life where you align with the things that you desire, where your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions align with what it is that you're trying to create. And I said this was a period of realignment. And now it feels like you've kind of been through this realignment, and now you're moving forward in that alignment. So this is where you start to see things pay off. Because here's what it was like you were trying to go down this path, but you weren't aligned with the path yet. And it wasn't your fault. Because again, it was like you were still holding on to some of the past you. But past you can't go where future you deserves to go. And that doesn't mean that past you does deserve to go there. It just feels like you've outgrown that version of yourself. You've outgrown those places, those people, those beliefs. And now you're moving into new territory, and it's exciting and it's beautiful and wonderful. But it's also scary, right? Because you're not quite sure what it's going to look like. Current energy for Taurus. There it is, the Magician. Your manifesting power is strong right now. I don't necessarily know why, but I feel like that's why you're being asked to really focus on raising your vibration, to focus on the good in your life, focus on gratitude, because I feel like your thoughts, and you might be seeing like 1111 or 111 a lot, which typically means like your thoughts are manifesting, like which always are. Like our thoughts are always creating our reality, but sometimes we're in this energy where it's just happening a lot quicker or with a lot more power. So paying really close attention to where you're directing your focus right now is important. And making sure you're really trying to pour into the things that, pour your energy into the things that are good and the things that bring you good feelings and good vibrations and make you feel good. You deserve to feel good. Because like I said, I feel like this is where what's a good... It's almost like, and I said this already, it's your choice whether or not to pick things back up again or to head in this direction or essentially open that door, right? And I feel like you might struggle to want to open that door because things haven't worked out the way that you've expected. There's probably this fear of failure, this fear of things not working out. And I feel like you're really being encouraged to start again. Or to give your energy back to something that you once were giving a lot of energy to, but didn't necessarily work out in the past. And that doesn't necessarily mean like an old relationship or like something like old, because I feel like you're doing it in a different way because you're different. You've changed a lot through this. So it's not like doing the same thing. To me, it feels like putting a very new energy into something. Like, I don't know, like you started that business and it didn't work out the first time, but it's like maybe doing it again, just like in a little bit of a different way, because you've realigned and now you're aligned with the opportunity. Because the magician is about having all the tools. It's like you didn't have all the tools. You weren't ready back here. You didn't have maybe the wisdom yet, or the knowledge, or the belief in yourself, or the confidence, or the faith yet. But it's like now you do. You have all the tools. And now it's taking all that you've learned and all of the ways that you've grown and putting it into something. Immediate future for Taurus. You weren't ready then, but you are now. I don't know what that means. I don't think I'm supposed to, though. I feel like this is just however it resonates for you. Because, yeah, there's something with the Page of Cups, like some divine guidance for sure that's being presented to you that you're really needing to follow. So like if you've had your heart set on doing something, and with this contemplation card, it's probably something you've been on the fence about. But it's like now's the time to go for it. Now's the time to do it. What does Taurus need to know moving forward? Open your heart with contemplation. But remember, it requires an open heart. It requires an open mind. The Knight of Swords, this is like not looking backwards, like just moving forwards without looking backwards. Like forward movement only, being scared and doing it anyway. Because, all of the things that we desire in this life, we're on the other side of fear. And the only thing that can hold us back in this life are the things that are the things that we don't do because we're afraid to do it. I've recently kind of had this revelation that in order to go or get to the places that most people don't, you have to do the things that most people won't. You have to face step out of your comfort zone. You have to face your fear. You have to commit to healthy habits. You have to, have that consistency. You have to take steps in faith. You have to do the things that maybe are a little bit different than what other people are doing, or maybe even what your past self would do. Because to me, this is, maybe you've been spending a lot of time asking, what would your past self do? And it's like, you're needing to ask what the highest version of yourself would do, what the version of yourself who believed in you the most, who, knew you were capable and deserving, who it just it just feels like this is stop selling yourself short and start going after the things you want. But it's not so simple. This whole process was necessary to kind of get you to this place of getting you the tools that you need. It's like you have everything you need. but you're needing to be willing to kind of take steps in that direction to open that door. Like, there's no looking backward, because wherever you're going, you've never been here before, and it's good, it's exciting, but it doesn't align with your past self. It aligns with the version of you you're stepping into. So that's why you're being asked to kind of leave that version of you at the door, which is hard. It's hard, and sometimes it includes things that aligned more with that version of you too, relationships, things of that nature. But it also allows you, because there's the Eight of Pentacles. It also allows you to open up the door for what, is going to align more with you, with the version of you that you're becoming. And I feel like this future energy is all about putting the work in. Putting the work into something, committing to something, putting the work into something. And with the Six of Pentacles, I kept saying Six of Swords. With the Six of Pentacles energy, it pays off. It's like reciprocative work, because maybe that's what you were experiencing back here, is you kept putting in the work, you kept putting the effort, but it wasn't getting you anywhere. But there was this shift that needed to happen within, and it's like you weren't ready then, but now you are, which is why you start seeing results. I mean, this to me is results, right? It's like your effort starts paying off. So I don't know, this is quite the reading. I feel like you've come so far, Taurus, in your journey, whether it's your healing journey, whether it's a journey in your career, whatever the case might be, you've come really far. And I feel like it's not, and I think this is where we have to kind of separate, like, we don't want to shame our past self for what you didn't know or how you weren't ready then. In fact, you wouldn't be where you're at right now. You wouldn't be able to, open this door again if it weren't for your past self. You wouldn't have grown. You wouldn't have healed. You only know what you know now because of what you've been through. And you wouldn't know what you know now if you hadn't been through what you had. So I think that it's not saying like you should have known better then, but it's like you do know better now. You are more like well equipped to handle whatever this opportunity is. Which is why I feel like it's coming your way at a pretty intense speed, but there's that need to continue to try to align with it, with your positive thoughts and leaning into those positive emotions. Okay, Taurus, thank you so much as always for your support of my channel. We're going to hop on over to the extended and we're going to look at what you need to do right now in order to align further with your higher self. So that's more focusing on kind of the tangible advice. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Taurus, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously, again, I know I already said that, but thank you. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing, all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Taurus.